Okay. Stepping into a game, we're gonna try out the third person in the character pack, the female dwarf they added to the game. And it looks like they added a new mechanic for the dwarves with the whole,
So here I am. The caravan is gone. My leg is crushed.
Sorry, eating some pizza.
Half my men are dead, and the other half...
Yeah, it looks like with both of the dwarves they added this whole trophy system. And I don't know how it works, so... because I have not played around with the dwarves yet. So, what she got? She starts with vitality, strength, and agility. She got spears, ranged weapons, athletics, magic mastery, which is neat that she gets that with no magic. Axes, two-handed axes. And so she kind of has a build set up close to, like, somewhere in between Darwin and Velmir, from what I can see. She has a build closer to what I do with Velmir usually. But I'm not quite sure how this bone charm works. Starts with the game with resourceful, already learned, and bone charm that allows a character to sacrifice special hunting trophies. Sacrificing grants the bone charm various bonuses that can be further empowered by killing respective animals and beastie bosses. Each received level increases the threshold for activating negative effects caused by hunger. Okay, so each level that you gain reduces the chance of you getting thirst, pain, intoxication, and fatigue. Neat. So I'm assuming, since it says that beasts are the ones that give you trophies, she's more of a huntress. So she's going to end up being more of a hunter than Darwin, I guess. Did they change him much? He gets butchery stuff. So he's more about like hunting animals and then skinning them, from the sounds of it. And she's more just about slaying things.
Is that so? So we're don't. You can also ask the.
But I think I'm gonna have to invest in range because pretty hard to hunt animals without using a bow or crossbow. Or at least some of the smaller ones. I mean, the larger ones, yeah, if you get lucky and you're good at sneaking up on them, you can do something, but I also want to try to see what this charm does as soon as possible, so I can understand what it is that it does. So, we will do a little scoot around town and see if there's anything worth picking up. It starts damaged already. Weird. Especially since bows, I don't think actually get damaged through regular gameplay. Her clothes all start partially damaged too. I mean, lore-wise, it makes sense because she had to travel here, but And I'm assuming she like went through the forest while doing it, but I don't know. Strange way to start your character. Just give me 1 second. Just need to fix my map. Okay, seems like it's fixed. Okay, so she's got slightly. She's got a tier 2 belt to start off. I'm gonna definitely switch this hood out for this one. Also would want, you know, something with a little more protection in the chest. These are good bracers to start. She has a special spear. Which is pretty good. Except I might not use spears because I just finished doing a spear build before I started streaming the series on the Northman guy who starts off with spears. And I was trying to do I was trying to test throwing spears on him. I'm just experimenting with the new caravan stuff from Rag to Riches. So I kind of have my fill of using spear for the moment, but I don't think I've used axes in some time. I can't recall the last time I used a two-handed axe. So maybe we will do that. The only question is... It said that we got a free talent. What was that? Is it in the survival tree? Okay, so you start off with resourcefulness. So you get the ability to butcher immediately. Interesting. We want to sell the antlers. Now we also want to use this. Okay, so now the fort spawned up here. So it looks like the fort... I think this is still in the same location. Maybe it was here, I don't remember. So, and I don't see the dungeon, so it might have moved a little. Because usually this dungeon's like in these tiles here, so it spawned here this time. And this one is now just slightly over. So it looks like the dungeons have a... At least in the first town. What? Pilgrim's Rest. Is this the dungeon? It must be. That's the only thing that makes sense. Maybe he patched it to give it a little bit more randomness. Or maybe I just haven't played a volume amount of games to have the RNG spawns a bit different. I do like this spawn a little bit more. This one's a little further away, but this one being closer to the town is quite nice. And this one being here is not too bad. Makes this one's always annoying being so far away, but once you get the caravan, makes it easy. You can travel to the town, do this one, move the caravan to like here or here or here-ish, somewhere around here, and then just go over here, grab the quest, do this dungeon, hand it in, grab the quest, go back up here, do this one, go back in, hand it, and then move to the next town. So, I don't mind this spawn. This is a pretty good spawn. The lone farmstead, most of the time I've had it spawn up here. Now it's down here. This is very forested over. Not what I'm used to. Usually this is all plains and in the I think the 3 playthroughs that I've played. There's a lot more plains around the town than I'm used to. Usually some of this is forested in. Which means it should be really easy to get the herbalist quest done early. And since I like exploring and getting a lot of the question marks popped out early just to try to get some potential loot and gear that kind of might snowball you further in front of the curve, because this game is quite punishing. I'm pretty sure enemies scale on your level. I think the dungeon quests that you get in the dungeons, they scale. I'm not entirely sure they scale off your level. I think they have to do with how many times you've completed the quest. But I'm gonna definitely be doing range, so might as well invest the early points into take aim, because take aim's quite important for ranged. Another good one is the distance penalty is a pretty good one, but also is the one that reduces the chance of bolts and arrows breaking. In one of my previous videos, I had someone come in and we were chit-chatting, because I did a range build just before regular riches came out. One of the big problems I had with ranged, seems like some of those problems are alleviated. I would still love for the creator to create craftable arrows, like the basic one where you just like whittle down a stick, a couple sticks maybe, and that makes like a bundle of 20 arrows. I don't know how many sticks that would require, but could do somewhere between, sticks are plenty as long as you're in the forest. Easy way to make some arrows. I imagine he'd have to probably rebalance. We even have broadhead arrows, which are one of the other variant arrows. You probably have to rebalance the price on arrows, or if he doesn't want to do that because he wants them to still be sellable, he could make another version of an arrow that is just the stick arrow, and those ones can't be sold at vendors. Easy peasy sell. You don't have to credit me for the idea. Just I would love to have a way to make arrows in the game. However way you want to do it. And then you could make other variant of arrows by like having scrap metal or whatever, and then you shaping them onto the arrows or whatnot. But yeah, the guy in my chat told me that you kill archers, they'll drop all your arrows. They didn't used to do that. Makes it a lot easier to recover or get more arrows, but I always run out of arrows when I'm doing a full archery build, because I'm trying to be very tactical about positioning and firing off as many arrows as I can. So I'm collecting lentils because they're just free food that you can turn into stuff like soup and such. So there's a lentil soup recipe. Let's see what we got here. Sometimes there's good stuff in here. I'll take that. And that's some money early on. You need charcoal for stuff, but we're not near the caravan yet. And I can always come back here because it's fairly close to the town. Smuggled note. Oh, jeez. Well, luckily this thing is so close. I didn't even notice she doesn't start with, she doesn't start with, and I forgot to sell this. She doesn't start with lockpicks. Most of the characters do. Okay, something to note. I'm gonna have to check some of the other characters to make sure they still start with lockpicks. Okay, we're gonna do a quick little loop. I'm gonna grab this leak. So we're looking for, I might have overlooked, but we're looking for spearmint as one of the kind of rarer herbs for this quest. Doesn't list the herbs, but I remember it's spearmint. I'll take a quick look again. Bring Argamon, Fleetwood, and spearmint. Okay. I remember, like, very early on, I think there was a fourth herb that you needed. And I think it was a lot harder to get, if I recall. I think you needed to be on a savanna tile to get it, which made it nearly impossible to complete it. But I believe that was what it was. I'm sure there's some wiki somewhere that that has the stored information of how the old patch, before the all the old patches and stuff. But I do recall there being a fourth herb. It might have been the, what was it, the purple herb? I can't remember which one that one is. And I'm getting two herbs because of the resourcefulness. So it gives you a, I think a 50, is it a 50% chance? 33% chance to find additional mushrooms, berries, herbs. Now, I need to look at this again. Allows butchering the harvest pelts, grants it 50% chance to collect special hunting trophies from some animals. Hunting pelts depend on the type of damage used to kill them. Piercing and crushing damage harms the pelts the least. Okay. I'm not going to be planning on killing things with axes, so I'm pretty much just going to be using arrows. Besides the lowered accuracy, these are decent for hunting because they do body part damage. So this is kind of the importance of why having a ranged answer to stuff is so powerful in this game. Because I didn't really sustain any damage, and they were barely able to get to me. So I don't need duplicates of these things. And I do want to grab these swords, because there is an additional quest in town to get a certain amount of either homemade swords or I forget what the other one's called. Battle cleavers? Something cleavers? I can't remember what they're called. Two of the like very basic low level swords. I think I could hand in the quest if I asked for a sword from the guy inside of here, the leader of the guard, I guess he would be called. But since it doesn't matter what the quality of the sword is, it's better to just try to find whatever ones that you can off of off of the bandits. I think sword bandits are the only ones that have a chance of dropping swords. We're gonna need the dagger to carve up the body, or to butcher things, I think. Okay. So we're gonna need to go pay for the night at the inn. How much does this recover? 15%. I think the idea is that she caught and cooked that herself, but you know, even before I got this, I don't see how that was possible. Because bows are very unwieldy and hard to actually shoot things, especially early on when you don't have a lot of the passive stats off of your gear and off of leveling up. Okay. Let's go hand in this quest and get some free medical supplies. And I need to remember to buy something to open up the chests with before I leave town. Do I have the recipe to... Yeah, I do, to make splints. So if I can find some rope, I can just make some of my own splints. So this is 15 gold, this is 60 gold, but I am definitely wanting a crowbar over lockpicks, because you can repair your crowbar. It only has 10 uses, but as long as you can keep it permanently good to go just by repairing it. Okay, so we're gonna go back over here because we want to open that chest. It's a shame I didn't know. I'm just gonna mute my mic for a second while I chow on the rest of my pizza while I just walk back over there. Okay. Just grabbed some hemp. Did I get 2 of them? No. I'm gonna need another one. Gonna make some rope out of the hemp. I just need to get the recipe for it. Alright. Let's save here. Because we're just going to do a little exploring. And I don't want to accidentally die. Because these early levels are quite difficult. 'Cause 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 these See, considering it's so hard to hit things at level 1, and it was a deer that she would have had to kill to get that meat type at least. There we go. And I'm using this skill. That's the bigger thing is that it increases your ability to shoot things. Oh, it's this skill that butchers right now. Okay. We're gonna go explore and get the XP for seeing this thing. The power of archery. Yeah, the last time I did an archery build, I went like full archery. And I had 2 separate bows in my inventory. Okay, first level. So... Perception gives agility. Or, sorry, accuracy. Counter chance, fumble chance, dodge, hand efficiency, and move resist. I think we're just going to do like a pure strength build. We're going to switch to 2-handed axes at some point. And that's going to be what we mostly do in melee. I think. Though I could not do crit 2-handed. It looks like Axe is all about doing body part damage. This would make her a terror of actually fighting, fighting, like, beasts and stuff on the overworld map. Though it might be worth considering diversifying the damage a little bit and going 2-handed maces. I'm gonna go strength. Ranged weapons. Because what I'm thinking of doing is not vesting too much into the archery tree, just enough to kind of hunt. But if we're going to be hunting, we're going to want long shot. So we're going to want to go down this side of the tree. headshot could be useful. Honestly, everything in the tree could be useful, but I think I want to do like minimum investment in the tree. This stuff's better for being a pure archer. So if we're going to need at least to get to long shot. It's a lot better at hunting animals with. And then we're probably going to invest a bit into axes. Well, don't have an axe yet. We're probably going to save up some skills if I get too much in the period of time before I find a good axe. Because it's going to have to be an axe that's better than this. Potentially. Well, that is an axe. I don't know if it's better than that, though. It does more damage. It's got more body part. It's got penetration, decent accuracy, less counter chance, and bleed chance. It's a debatable side grade. I don't have room for it, but it's not going to disappear, I don't think, so I could just leave it there. Come back for it. Speak of the devil, and the devil shall appear. But yeah, that might be worth switching to early on, especially once I get my first level in axe, just so that I have an ability to use with my melee weapon. Though, if we're playing pretty carefully, it should be easy to should be quite easy to avoid getting into melee with almost everything. We got a little bit into melee the last fight, but that was because I missed one of my shots. So when dealing with bandits, you always want to take out the two-handed ones first, because they're the ones that are going to be able to pump out the most damage on you. Gonna heal up a little bit. That's some nice stuff. Peasant spear is kind of meh. Crafting kit. Okay. So we want to get rid of some stuff in the inventory so we can make room for stuff. I could always pick more hemp, but we can get rid of a decent amount of space by picking up this bowl and cooking some lentil soup. We're going to eat one, and then we're going to make a second one. Boom. Okay. Move some stuff around. We can cook this up. Now we want to grab that, fill our water bag everything back up. Then we'll just do another quick save, just so we don't lose any of the progress in case I accidentally die. Shouldn't have much of an issue since we start with a ranged weapon, which is really, really strong to do in this game with. Lavender. It's one of the more rarer herbs. Because I'm thinking that if I go down here, it's gonna be a lot harder things. Oops. I don't want to fight a moose. Other stuff I could invest into is survival. Don't have the points immediately. And I'm probably not going to be investing into perception. But that's good for hunting. And then... that is also really good, but I'm not also going to not be getting agility or perception. So we're going to need to either find a book or wait until we're what? Level 8? Did he reduce the amount of XP? He must have patched this recently too. Oh, it's because the tree's smaller. Okay, maybe the survival tree just, yeah, you get to the bottom of it quicker, I guess. Because I was like, could have sworn that you needed to get to like level 16 to get to the bottom of the trees. I guess survival is just quicker to get to the bottom because it only has 3 tiers, I guess. And okay. That means I can get to full survival pretty quickly. Oh no, another archer. Quit ducking in behind the tree. It's not gonna save you. Oh, I was kind of hoping he dropped a quiver. I don't need that much. I want to grab all of his arrows. Should have known he wasn't going to drop a quiver. I just saw the training. The cudgel kind of looked like a... Is the training bow better than the peasant's bow? Shorter range and some of the stats on it are better. I think mine's still better. One more range is quite good for keeping a good amount of space between you and your opponent. I might consider hunting pigs pretty early on, but I'm gonna want a bear trap before I do that. Is this a deer? Ah, it saw me. deer's gonna get away with my arrows. Oh well. Okay, let's drop one of these and grab the sword so we can finish off that quest. Alright, there's the deer. Luckily, the pathing for the animals on this map are, when there's a rock-faced wall, is not the greatest. So I can get back some of my broadhead arrows. And the big issue now is, yeah, I'm gonna get a bunch of loot. Okay, we can get rid of some of the stuff in our inventory. That's kind of small fry stuff. Okay, we can get hemp somewhere else. Okay, we got room for. Let's eat the soup so I can drop the bowl. I'm gonna pick up the fatty meat. We're gonna want the pelt, because that sells for a decent amount. We're probably gonna want the antlers too, because those sell pretty well. The cloth is probably the least expensive thing in my bag. Well, leeches are expensive, but you can find them in all the rivers pretty much. Okay, let's move some stuff around so I can fit this in. It's weird, I still haven't found the question mark on this map. Oh, it's not. Deer are the ones that. Is it boar? Was that a boar meat? Yeah, she must have had boar meat in her starting inventory. I really don't see her getting that at level 1 with no skills. I want to switch arrows. We're gonna be fighting bandits. Yeah. Okay. Let's just fill in this part of the map because I'm a bit of a stickler. Or maybe I can't. Let's see. I would try to hunt that fox, but yeah, I don't think that I'm able to fill that part of the map in, but we can check if I just go up one. Yeah, it's weird how that fills in like that. If I go over here, does it fill in better? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go up to the Drunken Woodsman Inn. And get that XP, and then we're gonna probably head back to... I was like, is this a deer trail? No, there's just a bunch of deer hanging out. Yeah, let's focus down the two-handed guy. Oops. that was close. Okay, so I'm completely out of medical supplies at the moment. Besides bandages. So we're gonna have to be a little careful. I wasted a lot of actions in that fight because I thought I had my bow, and then I switched to my bow, and then I think I accidentally switched back to my melee weapon. That was pretty bad. And the fact that, you know, this is why I hate traversing forests is, I could have actually ranged them out quite easily if I'd seen them on a plane, but I was far too close to them by the time that I saw them. That's why this skill can be quite useful in the survival tree. Because examining things allows you to see creatures within a certain distance from you. Not CC, but, you know, they show up as question marks in the fog. Now, normally, I think that this is the cobbler's quest where he wants you to get the wooden... I think it's a cobbler, the wooden thing that he needs for his leather working. Can I make? Do I have the bandage recipe? Yes, yes I do. And I level off of it. Is this considered stealing? Yes. It's weird that the cloth isn't worth considered stealing. Okay, strength. So what level am I? 3. So I can't get that till 6. Can't get that till 8. So that'll be some time. Ranged weapons I'm pretty much done with until level 10. No, 4 more levels. 4 more levels we can get starting volley. So we're gonna mostly be going into axes. What else does she start with? Does she start with, remember she got magic mastery, which, you know, seems kind of weird to me. Because most of the stuff in here is for casting. The only stuff that really isn't is this path right here. Maybe this is just kind of a placeholder for her until something like alchemy comes out. Or maybe he'll create some other type of thing that he doesn't have on the to-do list. Magic mastery just doesn't quite totally make sense on her. At least in its current form. Yeah, I don't really want to explore any more question marks until we sell off some of this stuff. This is probably going to be the best haul I've ever gotten on a low-level character, because the hides do sell for quite a bit of early game money. So this character might be the best of the early game starts of the 3 new characters. I think of the old characters, I don't know, because with this new character DLC, I noticed they changed all the passives of the old characters. Kind of keeping some of the elements of what the old ones used to be, but then adding in some extra bonuses on top, which is quite nice. A lot more flat bonuses. Kind of makes the early game, though a lot of them are scaling. But anything that can help you out in the early game is good. I think out of the old characters, in my opinion, the female knight, well, I'm not entirely sure if she's a knight or not, but I think she is definitely one of the strongest of the original characters, just because her passive was so defensive. But they may have changed that a little bit, so she might not be the best anymore. I imagine she's still quite strong, though. In my opinion, the dwarf was the hardest to play out of the original characters, but he isn't bad. He just has a rough early game because his passive is about like continuously fighting things, and you don't really want to ever do that. You pretty much want to 1v1 everything in this game if you can get away with it. Or you want to set up situations where the enemies are only engaging with you one at a time. You don't really want to have multiple enemies attacking you at the same time. Okay, let's eat this. Keep this for now. We can cook it up at some point. Sell off some of our valuables that we have acquired. Whoops. He took like a long way around. I guess he got his path blocked by one of the guards or other NPCs. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna need crafting kit on the go. Could be useful. Could think about keeping that. There is a quest to turn into deer antlers, but we should be able to easily get another one at some point. Okay, doesn't look like I have any other valuable stuff on me, so we need to do this quest. Get 150 gold for our troubles. It's a pretty decent early game amulet. Okay. So we're gonna want to resupply on medical supplies. What do we have arrow-wise? Decent arrow-wise. Looks like bows are actually getting damaged now. Maybe he patched that. So it used to be that you could use your bow as much as you want and it wouldn't get damaged. I do want a quiver though. Quivers just free up a lot of room in your inventory. Is there a hotkey for switching ammunition? I think there is. setting. Controls. A switches ammo type. Okay. Okay. If I get rope, then I can make my own splints. Okay. Don't need this on me at the moment. So we'll stick this in the chest. I think I should be able to save. Yeah. Still have time at the end. Just so I don't have to redo all of that stuff. So now a consideration is that we could go down and grab that axe. Because I'm going to start wanting to spec in the axe with each level that we get here. So I think that might be worth doing. So we can go get the axe. And then we can go down the road, get the wood block thing for the tanner. Or whatever it is that he's doing. Woodsmith. I don't know. I'm not proficient in knowing all of the medieval professions. Need to keep our eyes peeled for some hemp. There's some. Did I get two? No, just one. Okay, the axe was on this corpse, I think. No. This one? Yeah. Okay. Can't use it immediately because it's quite damaged, so our spear's still better at the moment. Okay, this looks like another plains tile, maybe? No, this is definitely a deep forest tile. Or I don't know what these tiles are called. I don't think they have Yeah, pine forest. This is like a plains version of the pine forest tile. You can't find hemp on those tiles. I'm not sure how the system works for ambushes. So I remember like early versions of the game, it just spawned in enemies if you were walking on the road. I don't know if they still do that. I imagine they still do because I usually don't see the ambushes until my character says ambush. Okay, so here's the quest from the guy who's working with the wood stuff in town. Get back here, Archer. And there's a free splint. Reinforced club. And there's a rope, so I can just make a... There's another rope. I can put that back because we won't need that. Yeah, it's a plane, okay. Carpentry tool. Okay. I need 2 sticks. And yeah, I do see that snake over there. I just don't want to, I don't want to screw around with it. They don't give any XP, really. And skinning them, you only get the snake's skin, which is not... You can't really sell snake skins for much. Like rabbits. Rabbits' hide sells for a considerable amount more. The snakes might be more useful. I'm not sure if they drop an additional recipe once you get Hunt Master, because this allows you to get special special stuff from certain things. Or it used to, I don't know if it still does. Okay, just a mine. Still don't know. Just want to make sure. Don't want to see if a patch actually snuck in and allowed you to go in them. You still can't go in them. Was this a question mark? I'm not sure. Oops. Eh. What do skidding these dogs give you? You rotten meat. I'm assuming these aren't worth anything. Yeah. They're not worth skidding. Okay, we're on a plains tile, so we can quickly look for... Well, I think I was looking for a fight, but we can look for some more hemp. I don't really need it, though, because I already got some rope in my inventory. So I don't really need that anymore, so we can toss that. To free up some inventory space. We're gonna go check out this question mark over here. I could grab some lentils though. Those are always good for crafting some cheap food. Got a leek. I got 2 leeks. Okay. Where's the little bandit camp? Here we are. This is one of the most scary low-level bandits. Okay. I want to just check this axe in comparison to the axe I currently have. Well, that means I have to have both of them in my inventory. Let's just do this. Okay, 19 damage, 22 damage. It's got lower accuracy. It's got lower body part damage. It's got better armor pen. Stagger chance over bleed chance. And it's like missing all the defensive capabilities on it. I haven't screwed around with the polearm axes, so I think I might just stick with that for now. The lumberjack axe is definitely a strong axe, though. There's also the scythe. I'm not sure if that... I'm not sure if that is an axe. But we could go check that out, too. can repair the boots. Oh, I can't repair the boots. We can repair that, though. I'll get my water back. And then we will save, so that we don't lose progression. There's a note that there's a ladle there, but we shouldn't need that one. Because one of the caravan upgrades requires a ladle. Oh shit. Let's make some more lentil soup before we head out. Freeze up some inventory space. I'll also cook this, because that should extend it one more day. Got wolves, don't want to screw with wolves at the moment. What else we got here? Uh-oh. This is bad. Okay, that is good. They will distract. Hopefully the pig didn't start chasing. Yeah, it didn't. Okay. I ran into the death stingers and I didn't even get the exploration. That's sad. I jumped a little when that dog barked. Not used to these being on the map. Though I do like that he added the bin. Nice 20 XP unit. Are they gone? Might be able to get close enough to loot this. Yep. Definitely might want to get a pot to carry around with us. Since this character is going to be probably better at living off the land than a lot of the other characters that I played. I was doing it a little bit with the Norse guy. The Northman. because he's pretty good at... Well, not the Northman. When I was doing the Hunter, I had one character when the Rag to Riches first came out where I tried archery just real quick, just to have a look, see what it felt like. And then I opted to play something else because I had just done an archer build before Rag of Riches came out. So I decided, you know what, let's try doing a throwing spear build instead. And then throwing spear just didn't feel great, and then I just ended up doing normal two-handed spear. Okay, do we have inventory space? We do, but we are gonna get a bunch of extra items. So, I might want to forego doing this quest, but we can just complete the quest and just hold on to the key until, well, I don't even think we need to hold on to the key. We can just open the door and then it stays open. Shed key. Easy. Okay. Still not day out though. I wish there was a way to tell what time it is. I wish there was just like a sun. Just to... You don't even have to have it to show the time. It'd just be cool if there was like a little like in one of the two corners. Probably not this one. Well, maybe. You could fit it in here. That just showed like the moon / sun rising and falling. So you don't know exactly what time it is, but you have some idea. And you can make it that if you go into the dungeon it disappears because you're not outside and see it, if you really want to have it be super realistic or whatever, but it would just be nice. Okay, I also want to see what this scythe is, because I think it might fall under the axe category. Yeah. It is an axe, it's just a very, 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 very bad axe. It's funny, because I think the Peasant Scythe, when it first got introduced to the game, had some alright stats on it. So it could be usable if you just picked it up early, but it definitely is now incredibly bad. Because I've opened this, I think that this stuff will start aging. I could stick some stuff in here and come back for it. Guess I could stick the rope in here. Still doesn't give me a whole lot of room though. Well, we could eat the carrot. You can just eat all this stuff. I want the rope. I'll take the sponge. This stuff's kind of meh. All I know that that metal wire does is make lockpicks. Don't know if there are any other recipes for it. But I don't really need lockpicks anymore now that I have the crowbar. I would debatably use lockpicks if they were like the old lockpicks. I'm not exactly sure why he increased the lockpicks to being 2 tiles wide. And not buffing them in some way. Because that all that incentivizes is you using a crowbar, because for 1 more space you get a guaranteed thing that always opens everything. You just have to repair it. Unlike the lockpicks having a chance of breaking when you use them instead. And also that the doors in the crypts, and I'm not sure if there's any other doors around the world, can only be opened by crowbars. Makes the lockpicks a lot less useful to carry around with you. So unless your character starts with lockpicks, or you just can't afford a crowbar early, because it is 60 gold. Crowbar is just generally better. The only argument could be space, but with certain characters, I don't carry a ranged weapon around, and then you can just stick it there while having it in that inventory slot. You do need nails for upgrading the caravan, but nails are cheap and you can find them everywhere, so we'll just sell them for a little bit of early game money. We want to repair this so we can use it. Might as well repair that. I don't know if I'll need it anymore, because I think the two-handed axe... Swords, axe, daggers, two-handed swords, and two-handed axes. So, yeah, I could sell this dagger. Because we have an axe now. And we can spend some points in two-handed axe. So, hook chop, I think, is that thing that that's so dangerous that the two-handed axe bandits use, where they, like, pull towards you and it has a pretty high bleed chance. It does have weapon damage down. It's also got armor pen on it. Grant strikes 105 chance to pull the target. That isn't as useful for what we're trying to do because we don't really care about pulling things towards us. Dismember. Gonna need to pick it up anyways. Because the axe tree is weird where you need, like, is it all two-handed? Not two-handed swords. Axes and maces require that you get all three of the first one to knock down to the next tier. And this one requires all four to go down to the next tier. One-handed axes do the same thing. And daggers have a weird kind of parsing thing. Because that is alright, guaranteed. Well, it could be actually, for hunting purposes, hook chop could be useful. Could. Sort of. But not entirely. Okay, this does one tile, delivers a strike, deals body damage, has a high crit chance. If the target's body part to one of the target's body parts with a minor or medium injury. So it does like a big chunk of health bar damage to a body part. If the target has no injuries, deliver the strike to one of its limbs. So I'm assuming that it just means like arms and legs. If the strike worsens an injury or causes a new one, the target loses a chunk of their max health. That's cool. I don't think I'll be able to do that with arrows. So, actually, if I use bodkin arrows, that could work. Could work. Okay. And the body part has 100% chance to start bleeding. Well, that's pretty cool. What does this do? Shield break. Two-handed axes hits apply a target with a negative block chance, negative block recovery, and negative max block power. If the target's block chance is 0, two-handed axe strikes against it grant fumble chance, a chance not to fumble for 6 turns. Okay, so every time you strike with an axe, you apply this for 6 turns, and it can stack up to 5 times. Pretty good, pretty good. Can I get any of these things early? I can get that fairly early. I'm not that fond of stances. Let me just grab my drink here for a sec while we're muddling stuff over. I'm not that fan of stances because I don't like wasting a turn to apply a buff. The only time I like doing that is if I really want the stats on it, or if it's a defensive cooldown. Something that just gives a lot of bulk, like that's a decent maneuver because it's giving some block chance. The armor combatant, this one's also really good, gives 20% general evasion, as well as decreasing their accuracy, fumble chance, and their ability to penetrate through armor. So those 2 maneuvers are like much more usable for wasting a single turn action. And plus, you know, they waste energy, so unless you have a build that's very good at recovering energy, you can easily run out of energy to use your more offensive weapon styles. It's debatable that you can use it while your shit's on cooldown, but it's also debatable that you would want the maneuver up before your stuff was on cooldown. So the only time I ever really use maneuvers is if I'm needing to wait a turn to have the enemies move closer to me so that I can actually engage them with my weapon styles. And I feel like it's not going to hamper my ability to use weapon styles because I've, run out of mana and such. Rain in Blood. That's an attack, and it requires the same amount of strength as this, so probably going to overlook this. It reduces energy cost, crit chance is increased, bleed chance is increased, fumble chance is decreased. Each third strike deals an additional damage equal to... Oh, this stance actually can deal damage, so it might be worth grabbing. Each third strike deals an additional damage equal to 15% of the target's max HP, but no more than 27 damage. Use the ability tree using abilities in the tree using skills in the tree grants extra stacks of the effect. Basic two-handed axe strikes prolong the effect's duration by 1 turn up to 12, but reduces the number of stacks no more than once per turn. So it reduces any of the additional stacks that you get for using the abilities. Okay. Only one stance can be active at a time. Okay. It's an alright stance. Still would rather have an attack instead. Grants two-handed axe strikes. 10% skill energy cost. Don't need that early. Applies to target with damage taken, negative 50% damage taken. It's definitely worth getting at some point. Grants two-handed axe strikes body part damage. Do like the body part damage. Accuracy, that's good. If the target's health is above 50%. Okay, makes axes more accurate the healthier they are. That's pretty good. Especially since the less healthier they are, the more likely they are to have an injury, and injuries cause all sorts of debuffs on the target, which make them a lot more vulnerable to being killed. So the lack of the, buff. But this one also gives a buff if they're below 50% health. Grants two-handed axe strikes 8% weapon damage, negative fumble chance if target's health is below 50%. Okay, so fumble chance is pretty much negating the dodge effect, because dodge has a chance to outright evade attacks, but it also has a chance to not straight out evade, but just partially evade, and a partially evade means that the weapon cannot crit, and I think that it low rolls the damage, and it doesn't allow the weapon to apply additional effects like bleed, daze, stun, knockback, I believe, and pretty much any of the additional effects. So you get additional fumble when they are more dead, which is good, which means you have a higher chance of hitting them with crits and bleeds and stuff. But probably gonna get Rain of Blood. What's the pretty much everything in this row is requires strength. So as long as I keep investing in strength, which I think I will probably do, I'm going to be able to grab all of this stuff pretty early. What are we aiming for? Maim and kill. Causes injuries and bleeds with two-handed axes, strikes, grants. Or causing injuries and bleeds with two-handed axes grants weapon damage and crit chance for 5 turns. It's pretty good. Two-handed axes against targets afflicted by 2 or more injuries. That might come in handy against beasts, the things that we're intending to fight, but I think against most humanoid creatures that won't come into effect, because two-handed weapons hit quite hard, so the chances that you're going to apply 2 injuries before they're dead is quite low. But against boars, bears, mooses, the random trolls you find in the world, bisons, gluttons, what else is there? Oh, the spiders, even though they're quite hard to hit. This could be quite useful, and the troll boss and the chimera boss, which I still haven't fought yet. But this would be probably quite useful against both of them. Make space. Delivers a 3x2 tile area with a lot of knockback, as well as additional weapon damage and armor penetration for each degree of injury. This strike can knock back its targets. The strike can't knock back its targets. Okay, that's why it has the giant knockback reduction on it. I don't know. That's weird. Hitting the target applies it with bleed resist for 6 turns. You can stack up to 6 times, but I don't know how you would do that. If this strike kills at least one target... Oh. Immediately use the skill again on the same area without spending energy. Okay, so that's how it works 6 times. It's basically like... I'm assuming that this is kind of emulating you just like whirlwinding with your... or cleaving with your two-handed axe. It's neat. Yeah, I definitely don't think I've used axe. Or if I have used axe, the axe tree looked different. And I did it in like a very early version of the beta. Using a rampage. Is this rampage? Yeah. Using rampage grants body part damage, crit efficiency, and 5% reduction to ability trees cooldowns. Well, that's definitely worth getting once we've filled out the tree completely, pretty much. But I think the whole idea of what we're going to want to do is to definitely get this. That would be decent against fighting big mobs of enemies. But it's going to be this, definitely. And then probably this. That is alright. And then probably this. And then one of these two things at some point. But we're also probably going to want to invest into survival at some point and get that and get that. Probably these two. Easily. Then warfare could be a promising thing to do as well. Okay. Let us sell off some extra stuff that we got. And turn in this quest. I did repair everything, right? Yeah. What do we have? I should check on my arrows. Oh yeah, I need to hand in the quest. And then repair the bow. Okay. Gonna repair my equipment. And also, oh, right, I need to check on arrows. Probably can get away with not getting some more arrows for a bit. Okay. I think equipment-wise we're okay for now. Medical supplies. We got lots of bandages. We got splints. We still have all of our healing salves. So we're all good there. Should check if this guy has a bear trap. Oh, he's not here anymore. That's a bit annoying, but okay. I don't think he would carry one. I think that you have to wait till the grades increase. And bear traps are quite expensive. You usually will be able to buy them from the blacksmith at some point. Could also go looking for one. Don't need to carry all of those on me. Okay. Let's just put this down here. That looks a bit more organized. Need to... Need to talk to this to get a room rented. Whoops. I didn't mean to click on that. That was more money than I wanted to spend. Ugh. Guess I have the room for the week. I just have to remember that, because usually I just spend for single days. Used to, way back in the day, rent the rooms for a lot longer. But now that you have the caravan, and as the game progressed and there were more towns, because it used to be that there were only 2 towns to go to, and now there's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's other, like, villages that you can hang out in. Renting a room for more than a week is not, or more than a day is not as viable as it once was. Just ends up being a waste, especially if you're spending a lot of time roaming around the map, because then the days go by and then you're not using the room, and you know, you're just wasting money. And I want to continue exploring the map, just to ping out a couple more levels. What's our passive do again? We need to kill something so that we can get these special bone charms. I'm just not quite sure how it works. Well, in inventory, grants bonuses that can be added through the crafting menu with rare hunter trophies. The bonuses are empowered by killing respective animals and refreshed by using more trophies of the required type. The charm can grant up to 3 different bonuses simultaneously upon reaching limit. A new bonus will replace the oldest one. Well, yeah, okay. I'm wondering if I could have done it with the antlers. I'm gonna have to maybe hunt another animal and see if it gives, if I can use it with the antlers or something. Because maybe that's why she starts with antlers in her inventory, so that you can experiment with the trophy system, and I just kind of botched that. But we will go check it out. I should be able to kill a deer if I switch to the body part damaging arrows. Did I don't... Yeah, I'm not going to unlock the next tier of range until level 10. Well, I'm going to get that, but... that skill isn't the biggest deal. Okay, got the XP for scouting that. So what I think we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of exploration looking for some question marks. And then we're going to scoot around here, grab a quest, the quest for the Outskirts dungeon here. We're going to complete that. If they have it. I'm not sure if they have it. You might have to pick it up in town. But that'll be useful information for me if you can't pick it up there. Just so I know for next time. Because I don't know, because it's a requirement to do that dungeon for the main quest storyline stuff. So you might only be able to pick up that dungeon from the guy in town because it's just pre-scripted that way. But I haven't experimented, so we will check. Okay, we got an archer. That means a few more arrows. And we got a two-handed mace guy. And a two-handed sword guy. Yeah, just keep yourself in between me and the other archer. Well, the pull might actually be useful in that case that we just had there. Where they're one space away and we just want to engage immediately. Okay, let's open this up. Ooh, a bunch of cool stuff. So, I don't think that counts. But we could check. I'll do a quick save. And then we will see recipe-wise. Bone charm and pelt. Does this work? No. So it must be not pelts. There aren't any additional things to loot. Okay, no. We got plenty of... I'm gonna guess these are wolves. And they're chasing something. I'm assuming a squirrel or a hedgehog ran past them. I would consider fighting a boar, but I really want a bear trap before we fight a boar. Because boars are quite deadly. And a bear trap would just allow me to space the boar quite easily, as well as do a big chunk of damage to it if it gets, if it triggers the bear trap. Beast Burrow. This is the first time I've seen this particular location. I might have seen it once on another playthrough. I don't think I've ever found the Beast Burrow. I could check this area out, because there's probably another question mark over there. But I kind of want to loop back around and do the first dungeon. Level 5's usually right around the period of time I'm fine with going into the first dungeon. Because at level 5 you get, usually if you started speccing into a talent that you already have 1 point in, you already get the first big chunk of extra stats for hitting the 5 thresholds. As well as, you know, the passive stats on top of the additional abilities. It's usually a good time to hit the first dungeon up. Okay, what is in this tile? Is it a bandit camp or is it a hunting trail? Well, we got a bandit with a 2-handed mace. And we got one with a Gudag spear. Looks like a hunting trail. No? Okay, I'm not in the center of the map. Oh, there's a boar. This thing is so strong. And then it does a bunch of extra damage when it's low on health. It is quite a formidable force if you don't, especially in the early game when you're just wearing basic armor. And if you don't have some way of managing its charge ability, because that thing can... Don't want to fight a troll. Also, I don't want to fight a wolf. Oh god, this must be a troll den. Troll Dominion. Are there more trolls? I guess this is just a place if you want to fight trolls. Trolls. So trolls are just kind of like, young trolls are kind of just like mini versions of the boss troll. And it's got the AoE ground pound strike and the claw swipe that the big trolls get. The big thing that I need to know, which I am unsure of because something I did, I need to fix my mouse again. Mouse wheel likes to fuck up. Yeah, the big thing that I would need to test for these young trolls is if they have what's it called? Attack of opportunities, because that's how it made me fighting the boss troll quite trivial, because you just do its attack pattern and then it doesn't even attack you. Mind you, the trolls on the map will follow you indefinitely, unlike the boss troll. So that's an additional problem you have to think through. But if they don't provoke attack of opportunities. Just give me 1 second, I need to fix my mic. Probably not mic, mouse. Okay, I think it's fixed. I'd have to test if it scrolls to the top weird. Seems alright for now. Okay. So yeah, if the young trolls don't have attack of opportunities, I probably could dispatch them quite easily. But I assume that they do. I think that that just is for that one particular boss. And I could have sworn that boss used to not have it, but maybe the creator took it away so that it wouldn't be super dangerous. I don't know. I thought he had attack of opportunities at one point. I could have been totally wrong about that, and I've just been, up until recently, playing around that, even though he didn't have it ever. Because I'm pretty sure almost every other enemy in this game has attack of opportunities. And then watch, at some point he's just going to patch it in that you can't do that anymore, and then I'm going to be super confused when it happens. It'll be definitely harder to kill it early on if he gives back the ability to play around the attack of opportunities, though. Okay, so you actually have to pick it up from the fellow in town. Okay, I guess we'll just circle around. And just pick up the XP for showing up here. And if we can find a rabbit so that I can make, I think it's called dayteller soup, where you can put meat in it, that would be handy. I do have an extra bunch of vegetables on me at the moment. Oops. I don't know how the hell I missed the dungeon. How did I miss the dungeon? I guess it was just barely off screen. Okay. Alright, what do we have arrow-wise? 15 and 16, not too shabby. What's in the cart? Cooking pot. I won't be able to carry it around with me immediately. And there's an onion. Once I get a backpack, especially the more upgraded backpack, then I definitely will want to carry around a cooking pot. We're probably going to want to bring around a lot more water on us too at some point, just so that we have the ability to fill up said cooking pot. Kind of wish inventory management was a little bit more integrated into the mechanics of the game. Good example of good inventory management games. I've played a couple of them, but honestly my favorite inventory management game was... Let me check my Steam list real quick. Do I still have the game installed? I may have uninstalled it. Neo Scavenger. There it is. Neo Scavenger. The game has other flaws, but it is definitely one of the best inventory management games that I have played. Next to, like, Backpack Battles and Backpack Hero, which I feel like are kind of borrowing from each, well, from the original game, which was what, Backpack Hero? Backpack Battles just kind of feels like a multiplayer, what do you call it? Auto battler version of Backpack Hero. They're definitely two distinct games, but I feel like the creator of Backpack Battles definitely stole a lot of inspiration from Backpack Hero. But between those two and Neo Scavenger, those are all really good inventory management games that I feel if the creator wanted to expand on that mechanically of his game. Mainly one of the big things is rotating items so that you can actually manage the space in your inventory. I remember when Backpack Hero first came out, you couldn't rotate items in the early web version of it, and then he eventually made it so that you could rotate items. But then he also changed a lot of the dimensions of the items to kind of compensate, and also decrease the amount of space that you could have in your immediate backpack, because he made it so that you could upgrade the backpack as you leveled up. That just makes the whole inventory management thing a much more interesting mechanic, because then you actually have more control over trying to Jenga fit everything into your backpack. I don't need to be here. Back to town. I have a quest still? Oh, just to talk to the elder. Okay, we're probably going to also want to sleep before we do much, because we want to reduce the fatigue we've been gathering. Even though fatigue doesn't hurt us as much, because most of the debuffs that it places on you has to do with hurting casters, but I think it also increases fumble chance, which hurts everyone, but that one is, I think, the only effect that hurts regular people. do a quick repair. We're probably going to want a few more arrows. Because if we're going into a dungeon, we're going to be using a lot. Let's do some repairs. We'll sell the hide. Okay. Medical supplies, we have everything. The only thing we could potentially get is another pain reductor, but we got the sponge, which is an alright pain reducer, even though I like the herbal thing, because you can only really use the sponge out of combat because it puts you into sleep. Okay, I don't have anything else to sell. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go pick up the quest, take a nap, does this one have a day limit on it? Yeah. But we should be fine. Do some cooking. Remember, JC. We gotta remember. Wait, I don't. Oh wait, and I don't think that's gonna screw with the recipe. We gotta remember that we got the. We got the bedroom for the night. I don't have meat. But there is a meat salesman outside, so we'll grab some meat. We'll grab 2 of the tender meat. So, daytailers stew. We got meat. We need 3 vegetables. 1, 2, 3. And then we can eat that. And then we can 1, 2, 3. Make another one. Store that for later. We can roast the egg. Just to get a little snack to nibble on. Might as well pour that in here for now. And we remember not to accidentally spend more money on bed equipment stuff. Or sorry, brain fart. Gotta put this in here. We already spent for a week at the inn, so we don't need to pay for it again. That was what I needed to remember. Don't want to waste a bunch of money. Okay. Off to the first dungeon. So we should quickly, easily, after 2, 4, 6 enemies, roughly, should give us our next level. No, it's going to be a bit more than that. 7 or 8-ish, maybe? So pretty quickly into the dungeon. Maybe 9-ish. It really depends. I don't know how much experience each bandit's going to be giving me. I know it's more than 20 because the dogs give 20. And I think it's close to 30 for most bandits. But it could be like 35, 36. In that case, it'll be 9, around 9-ish. You just had to bleed me. I didn't get any water. Not going to be a big deal. I don't think I'm going to run out. Unless, you know, I step on a trap and it's a fire trap and then I have to pour water on myself to put myself out. Then I'll run out of water, but if we're being cautious and using the examine surroundings, we shouldn't have that issue. Okay. The thing about being a ranged build is you have to be careful because normally you just auto attack all of the breakable things. Oh geez. Oh, and another guy comes out of nowhere. And another guy. Let's heal a little bit. Okay, we just got second wind. I switched to melee. Means he's out of arrows. Okay. Should heal myself up a bit. And what did I just say? Ugh. I jinxed myself. Okay. Yeah, that's enough to make another day tiller stew. Want to do a quick look-see because I don't want to accidentally step on another trap again. It's funny that when you fire an arrow, your character wobbles like they took damage. But I guess that's just the regular attack animation. So it looks like it does the same thing when you attack with your weapon. Battle Cleaver. Do a quick search. Got an archer over here. And he seems a little bugged out because he just took a bunch of hits from me for free without retaliating. And we get our level. We get our strength bonus. So now we have an additional body part damage, crit efficiency, and armor damage. And we're gonna get the last axe skill. Oop. Okay, and then we have, what, 2 more levels until we can get some of these additional skills. So we can save up our points for the next 2 levels. I might have unlocked... No, I'm not going to unlock survival for a little bit. That I could get next level. Grants one vision and high chance of hearing. That I won't get till 8. And then what, axes are 2 more levels? I kind of like the idea of saving my points, and then I can just get a lot of these bonuses. Especially finish them. So I might save my next point next level, and then go boop boop once I level up 2 more times. Big chunk of arrows. Real big chunk of arrows, okay. Just take those out for now. Guess those are going to be more of my hunting arrows. Okay, good. We have an easy way to refill our water. I think the quest is to destroy these things, right? No? Yeah, destroy 3. It's just not showing it. There we go. Now it's showing it. Boss room? Nope, kitchen. We can make some more food while we're here. So meat and 3 veg. Okay. I got anything in here? Doesn't look like it. I checked this, right? Yeah. Oh, there's a rabbit pelt here. That's still worth picking up. I almost stepped on that. I want to disarm this. Because I don't want to accidentally walk on it when I'm pathing back. Okay, iron ingots. Guess I should repair my leg. Because it's causing me a lot of pain. Pain! Ooh, squirrel pelts actually sell for a decent amount. Well, they're more than rabbit pelts? Jeez. Might be worth looking for rabbits then. Or sorry, squirrels. Because I did see some while we were in the pine woods tile. I just kind of ignored them because I assumed they weren't worth hunting down. But since their pelts are worth that much, that is definitely worth the consideration of hunting them down. Oh, here's the boss. Okay, easy damage output. I think a shiv is also a level 1 dagger. And of course I get unlucky and have it trigger on me. Okay. Space-wise, probably gonna drop the alcohol. I can also use the cloth straps to make a bandage with that. With that other rags that I found. A lot of shields. Those are worthwhile. I guess we'll drop the arrows. Still probably gonna find a little bit of loot. We also have some food we can get rid of. Oops. Why does his reach one more length than mine does? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong ability. That is why. Alright, let's use the let's use the sponge. Ooh, bolt of cloth. And an iron ingot. Okay, let's eat up some of this food. I could go back to the kitchen and make could have went back to the kitchen and made some peasant soup or whatever, stew. But I don't really want to backtrack. Okay, let's do this while we're here. Rags. Throw this on the ground for a sec. Rags. Bandage. Okay, time to destroy this. Okay, just need one more workshop, which is probably behind this door. I think there's still one other door I haven't checked yet. Okay, yeah, that's this door. More rags. I could do some finagling and... How much is a blacksmith hammer? Much. Okay. Let's do that. Could do some finagling and make another bandage. Yeah, there's one more door I haven't checked. 'Cause there are 2 rags in here, but that'd be being incredibly thrifty. And there's always a chance that I find something in here that takes up too much room. Especially in this chest. There we are, some squirrel pelts. We can eat this. Yeah, see, we might just end up throwing a bandage away anyways. I think this splint is a little less worthwhile to me anyways. Even though it's freeing up one spot. Okay, all cleared over here. Cleared. Clear. All cleared. And we are good to go. That was a fairly easy first dungeon. I don't think I had any major problems in there. Which is good tidings that this X plus archery build's doing pretty well. I could kill that bunny, but don't really have the inventory space. I could get the meat off of it because I have one space, but then I'd be wasting the hide. I might as well go all the way back to town because I need to pawn off all this stuff anyways. Instead of turning in the quest up there. And we're a decent chunk into the next level too. Haven't had any deaths yet on this run, right? Yeah. Yeah, don't think I've had any deaths. So we had, I think, 2 close calls. If second one hadn't procced. Oh, I guess we did have that little bit of trouble at the beginning of the dungeon where that archer was shooting at me and two-handed guys were running at me, and then a one-handed guy came, and then another guy with a pitchfork came, and the archer was still hanging around, but he wasn't shooting at me. That could have went poorly. Second one procced at some point during that fight. Okay. It's a good thing it's the middle of the day. This guy likes buying hides, right? Well, we should probably hand in the quest first, because we might wrap up. Even though it won't fit in my inventory. Yeah, see, I ripped up. So there is a chance that the vendors will have better interactions with me. Pretty much the same. Okay, we're gonna want to keep these for the quest. Do we want to get it now? We want to hold on to the enchanting scrolls for now. We'll get rid of those. You can repair some stuff. We actually have a tier up of equipment. even though it's quite expensive. That's a thing worth considering. What type of equipment I'm going to be wearing. 'Cause we can go for light armor, except that we're going to want to be in melee range, so light armor might not be the preferable thing. Don't know how many skills we're going to be using, so we're going to be mostly medium armor might be a nice in-between. Because skill-wise, I don't think we're going to be spamming too much, even though this kind of reduces the cooldowns a little bit. But with two-handed axes, we should be killing things like relatively quickly anyways. So I don't know how long we're actually going to be staying in combat for. Now that we're out of the dungeon, we can swap these back in case I need to quickly switch to hunt something. Okay, we could get the knapsack, even though it only gives a little bit of space, and the upgraded one's much better. We could upgrade our armor. Definitely could go for hide boots, because that'd be a huge upgrade from what we're currently wearing. We could do that. Even though it's more of a side grade, but it gives more offensive stats. We could do the arming cap, which just has way more protection on it. And we could get a gambeson as well. Let's do this. I like that. And we could get the... We could definitely get the gambeson. It's always good to have a nice chest piece. Because you want to keep your chest protected. Keep those vital organs protected. Oh yeah, that definitely will make me much more durable. And while this guy's still in town, we should see if he has any bear traps. I might not be able to afford it because I think it's like 300. No, 99. Perfect. Let's also check this guy to see if he has any. That he does. I will definitely buy a second one. Very useful for dealing with animals. Caltrops can be good. Okay. We can sell the liquor. And then we can probably gear up to fight a boar. The big problem will be finding one. We're gonna stick this stuff in here. We're gonna need more medical supplies. I don't have a whole lot of money, so that's probably going to be a big chunk of my money gone. I just want to make sure that, at least for this play session, I get to check out her little bone charm thing at least once. Okay. We can buy 2 for now. We can get the... We can make our own splints. So we'll get the hemp and the sticks. And while we're getting the sticks, we can look for the boar. And then set up the bear traps so that we can deal with it without taking a whole lot of damage. How much damage do the bear traps do? Has armor pen and body part damage, 100% mobilize. Does 30 damage. Because we should guarantee a kill if we can double trap the boar, or even single trap the boar and just put some of our own damage on it. I'm not finding any hemp. But I'm definitely gonna need at least 1 splint, because I'm probably gonna take at least 1 injury from fighting with the boar. I'm fine with grabbing some lentils. I know I harvest some of the hemp over here already, but come on, there's gotta be at least 1 hidden in the darkness. And we'll grab a leg. Oh, there's some hemp. I just need another one, and then we can make some rope. Can't find it on this tile, because this is a pine woods tile. We can find it here, but it looks like we've already explored a chunk of this map. Let's just harvest these real quick. I'll grab another one. I guess I'm grabbing another 2 because I had 30%, 33% chance of grabbing another one. Okay. No hemp, no hemp. I could also try to hunt some deer along the cliffside. Because it's really easy to hunt them when they can't run off a map and they just get confused and rub up against the mountain wall. That also means I could definitely get this rabbit. so that I can make some more dayteller stew. Where'd the rabbit go? Must have bugged out. Somehow found the bottom of the map. Weird. Okay. Tons of lentils, but no hemp. There's some hemp. And let's make some rope. Rope. Doggos. Okay, drink some water. Eat this. Okay. More dogs. Guess we could get another rabbit. Don't really have room for all of that though. Let's just eat this for now because we need this stick, and then we're gonna need another stick. And then that should be good enough for us to fight one boar, probably. There's an exclamation or a question mark. Hopefully it's a bandit camp, and then I can have a place to save. Oh geez. Kinda hoping to avoid fighting the dogs. But I guess a free 20 experience isn't too bad. Okay. Close to halfway. There's a stick. Stick, stick, rope. Make a splint. Okay. Now we can kind of be on the lookout for a boar. We have an owl. And a jay. And we got a bear. That's the bear trail, I think. Bear territory. I might have accidentally aggroed the bear. Hopefully not. Definitely can't fight a bear right now. They are quite deadly. Even at high levels, I have troubles fighting bears. Okay. Got another question mark over here. More dogs. Okay. Deer. Unfortunately, I don't see the deer. Might be worthwhile to grab the hunting trait next talent. Okay, there is the deer. There is another deer. Ah, they're doing a good job avoiding me. If I could lure them into some other enemies, that would be nice. But I don't know if that will work. Okay, we got some bandits on the road. Let's deal with them. A lot of bandits on the road. At least we just have the mace guys left, which are the much easiest version of the bandits. Gotta keep our eyes peeled for... Okay, we got a fox. I don't really want to fight wolves at the moment. I would have loved to kill that fox, but okay, there's a boar spotted. I don't know where I spotted it though. Because that's exactly what we're looking for. There's the boar. Okay. We're going to apply a trap here. And we're gonna... Did it move? It moved. Dang it. Okay. Okay, did that hurt it? heard it. Yep. Is it running away from me now? No. But I can put down another trap. Back up. Oh, they're so hard. So close to killing it, though. Okay. Don't know why it's auto-selecting to attack stuff. Okay. Let's grab the healing salves again. And we're gonna have to get a splint again because we're definitely, as you can see, we're gonna take a bunch of damage from fighting with the boar. So I need to get some hemp to make some more rope. Do 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 do. Okay, got some bandits. And there's some hemp. If we're lucky, we can get 2. And we only got 1. Some lentils. some lentils over there. There's some hemp. Okay. I want to get a rope. I want to get just splint. If we could get 2 more, that would be nice. Some lentils. Harvest those. There's some more hemp. Didn't get lucky and get the second one. Just need one more. Just need one more. Experiment, nettles. Argamon. I need another stick. What we got here? Nettle. Some more lentils. Come on, there's got to be at least one on this map. There we go. And of course, when I don't need a second one, it gives me one. Okay. Oops. Rope. Splint. And I guess we can grab... Oh, and there's another one up there. I guess we can make one more then. Just need to grab 2 sticks. And then we can save at that campfire up there so that our progress doesn't get reversed. And then we can also make some more food and get ready to fight a boar. And we can kind of spot for one on the way there in case we find one in one of these in this forest. This would be a good tile. I don't want sticks. This could be a good tile to find deer in if I can push them north. Because then they would get trapped on the... There was a squirrel. I didn't see where it went though. Is this more rock face? No, the other rock face is going to be around on the next tile. Gotta keep my eye out for deer. Okay, so we have a fox. I could do the same thing with the fox. If I can somehow sneak around this side of it. Where? Oh, there's the fox. I don't want to scare it to the bottom of the map. Where's the fox at? Oh, I lost it. Oh, I spotted it again, I guess. Oh, it's up there now. I think. Is that it? Yeah. Sneaky fox. Sneaky fox. Okay. Let's save. Okay. So we're still looking for a boar of some kind. Oops, fox got spotted again. Where's the fox? Where be the fox? Ah, viper. Ugh. Well, now we have to wait for my intoxication to drop because I can't fight a boar while I'm intoxicated. Sparrow, deer. I don't know where the deer went, but I probably already scared it off. There's a deer. Okay. I could catch the deer as long as it can't see me, and then I can set up a bear trap on this side of it to have it run into. If I can predict where it's gonna go. Okay. Need to stay far enough away from it. How far did it run? Yeah, I might be able to throw enough arrows into it. No. No. But I can switch my ammo type to broadhead arrows. It's still kind of on the map. Maybe I can get around the other side of it and push it back towards the middle. Now I'm seeing some bandits, and I do not want to fight the bandits. I am busy hunting bandits. Where did that deer go? I had already ran off map. So much harder without the talent. Probably will skip with the axe talent, and we'll get the hunting talent next, just to make tracking these animals down a lot easier. And there's a boar. Okay. How do we want to do this? Is this the same deer? Yes, it is. Okay. Might end up dying again. Okay, luckily we got it. Okay, I think the boar tusk counts as a trophy. Yeah, it says can be used through the crafting menu to empower the bone charm, granting cooldown reduction. Neat. Cooldown reduction. Nice. I guess an alternative thing we could do is we could have 2 sets of two-handed weapons and get a two-handed mace as well as a two-handed axe, and then kind of like hybrid spec, because I'm not going to get as many hides using a slashing weapon. Okay, if I'm very cautious about where I push this deer, I can kill it. Where'd he go? There he is. He's a little too far close to, God, freaking. I don't want to fight wolves. I could push the deer into the wolves and have the wolves kill it. But is it in my shot range? No. I could set up a trap over here. We want to push it a little bit this way. But not too far this way. Where'd it go? Saw it for a second. How far are we to the edge of the map here? And also how far... I don't have a range to attack it at the moment. Got to sneak up on it. Very quiet like. Where did deer go? It's gonna get off map. Unless... it's one tile away. Pooh. Oh well, we got the boar, and we got to see what the trophy thing does. Wonder if ghouls give a hunting trophy. Because maybe the ghoul hearts, maybe the ghoul hearts are considered a trophy. Gee, I hate you, snakes. I hate you so much. Okay, the only other thing I could think of that we could kill, possibly, is the, oh, where's the squirrel at? Squirrel! The only thing I could think of that we could maybe kill that is a beast in the woods is the wolves is a potential, especially if they've gotten to a fight with some bandits, because sometimes the bandits can kill one wolf. Usually the wolves are in packs of 3. Sometimes you can find lone wolves. At least I've found some. Sometimes. Pretty rare though. Could probably fight a single wolf. Maybe they have a trophy that you can harvest off of them. The other thing I'm thinking is we could maybe fight a moose. But they do have a lot of HP. I'm wondering where she got that slab of meat from that we had at the beginning. Because fatty meat we get from boars and deer. Maybe you get them from stags, those other deer from the savannah. But still, they're pretty hard to. Still couldn't see a level 1 being able to grab those. Okay, so the horns do give a bonus. So those antlers at the beginning were meant to be used on the charm. Neat. Okay. Worth considering. I guess we could just finish up this session by I'll just store one of these because I don't want to have all of them on me. We could finish up the session by going over and doing the bandit. So that took over the orchard. Or brewery or whatever it is. Just to finish off that so that we don't have to do that next session. Let's leave the water in here. Now we need to do some repairs to some stuff with the money from the hides that we got. Clothes aren't damaged too much. Should be good to go out with this. I'll pick up the quest to go do it. We'll just go do that, and then we'll come back and save and be done with the session for today. Finish the first task. What are we doing next? Yep. I'm on it. Okay. Now, the fact that we're built to do range damage, we should be able to handily deal with these guys, especially since I can cheese them on the side of the map if I really need to. Which, depending on how I pull them, I might need to. Alright, let's start with killing the guy at the bottom here. Gonna might have to cheese them. Might have to cheese them. Okay. Doing some little bit of cheese strats. I don't feel so bad doing this just because, you know, they all get pulled at once. If you could play a bit stealthy and not have them all come at you at the same time, then I wouldn't really need to do this. I can just try to engage them all one-on-one by just staying out of the distance. I think we didn't get the guy at the front gate, because I think the front gate guy has an axe. Because we did kill a guy with a mace. But maybe that was the front guy. This could be bad. Okay, close, but we got him. The smart decision should have been to retreat off the side of the map, but didn't feel like playing it too cheesy. Makeshift X. We don't want those. Okay. Time to loot up the place, getting whatever valuables we can scavenge. A ring, nice. Okay. Well, how do they know it's stolen? There's nobody here to see it go missing. I could just blame it on the bandits. Don't have room for that. That's where the most value in this quest comes from. Okay. I'll just go back to town. drop off some of the stuff and come back for that. We already have a single pot, so we can sell this one. Oh, it's because I see the snake. He doesn't buy tools for that much. Does this guy buy tools? Yeah, he buys it for a bit more. I accidentally clicked on that. Okay, we'll repair this. Could get a better bow at some point. Okay. I need to find a person who will buy these hops. Maybe the vendor will? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. I've just held on to these in most of my playthrough, but I'm not exactly sure what you do with them. I was assuming that you could somehow get a recipe to make beer or something, but I haven't found it. Okay, I think that's enough space, just in case. I'll throw these in here. And we'll save just in case something weird happens on the way there. Okay. Got the rest of what we came for. Do we have room for the buckets? If I eat this, we can... Because I know you need 2 buckets for 2 separate upgrades for the caravan, I believe. You need at least 1 bucket. I don't remember if you need 2. You need 1 for the pigeons, I think. And then I think you need 1 for the chickens. Maybe? I don't know. That one's a question mark. It's pretty easy to find buckets because there's one next to every well in town. And picking it up isn't considered stealing, so you can just grab those ones. And usually you can find them in bandit camps, and you can find them... I think there might be 2 of them in the... I forget what that tile's called. It's really close to the big city, Bran or whatever. It's like the broken down siege. It's like where they were trying to siege the castle from or whatever. So there's you can get a ladle there, I believe, too, which is one of the things you need for an upgrade. If you're doing a shield build, you can get a pretty decent medium shield there. I'm assuming they have some horseshoes and nails there as well. Let's see if he's in here. He's probably at the bar, though. Because if he's at the bar, we can't turn in the quest, but if he's here... And he's not. Yeah, I guess we're resting till tomorrow, then. Because you can wake him up from his sleep and turn into the quest, but we'll just sleep till tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I thought. I should replace the bear traps with the buckets. And we're going to hang on to that. And that doesn't expire, so we can hang on to that. And I don't think I need to grab anything else from in there. So we're going to want to sell this big thingy of... Well... One of the upgrades requires, or 2 of the upgrades, I think, both the chicken coop and the pigeon need this thing. I just don't have room for all of this stuff. And I do need both the brandy for the quest that I want to turn in. And now I don't have room to pick up this claw trap, so we're just gonna have to leave that on the ground for now. Oh no, wait, I do have room. I can wear the ring. Duh. Okay. You can turn the brandy into the drunk guy to get the necklace. And then we just need to grab a identification scroll, and then we can sell it. Don't think that was really worth it, but whatever. Probably the brandy would have sold for more. Okay. So we'll just save it for here, and then on the next one we can go back. We can go to Bran and get the caravan ready. Okay, if anyone watches to the end, thank you for watching. Have a great day.